Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now, there we go. Okay. So I will be watching for other people to come in and
Yeah.
you know what? I'm a little different than a lot of hosts. If someone pops in, I let them in. If they start being
Yes.
ugly, I can hit the button to say, gone.
Yes. Right. But hopefully it's somebody that's like, oh, this is cool and joins. Like that's what we
Yes,
want,
I had
right?
one lady one day that came in and she had the times mixed up, the time zones mixed up. And she came
Mm,
on one of our events and we weren't supposed to meet till after the event. It worked out great because
yeah.
she trained us for a couple of months and then she became ill. So she's had to take a break. But all right. So with that said, welcome, ladies, to the Millionaire Marketplace. We are going
Yay.
to get started and let's practice that 30-second introduction. Let's make it perfect. Only 30 seconds, no pitching, just 30-second introduction. We already know your name. There's no need in telling us your name. Welcome, Grace. We're just getting started. The background is in the chat. And I love your background that you have
Mhm.
right now, Grace. It is fabulous.
It looks like the Queen's Palace
Very
Yes, it
nice. I
does.
like that.
or the King's Palace now, I guess we should say.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we are going to our 30-second introduction.
It's no, because I came in late, it's not in the chat, LaDonna. So if you put it in the chat again, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
perfect.
And now that Grace said that, that might be why it wasn't there to start with for me.
I bet it was.
Mm.
You know, used to on Zoom, if you put something in the chat, it was there till the end for everyone. And they revise. That's one of the things they revise. So I forget. All right, my friends. Let's start with Jen, then we'll go to Tamara and then Grace. Your 30-second perfect introduction. No pitching.
We are Vorsa Investments, a commercial syndication and acquisition company. So we give busy professionals the opportunity to own real estate without being the landlords. We rescue them from the volatile stock market and put them on a smooth racetrack to consistent passive income, tax breaks, and significant back-end payouts. Are you working hard for your money, or is your money working hard for you?
Woo! Smoking perfect. All right, we will go to Tamara and then Grace. You're on. There you are.
Just for You Life Brigade, Life Coaching for Restarting You is a program created specifically for women over 50 that are feeling lost and unsure after a major life event. I help rediscover your purpose, reignite your motivation, and help find clarity and direction so you can start thriving in your life again.
Awesome. Woo! Tamara, every time you just get more and more clear on what you're saying. And I loved it how your tone went up and down. Very
And you
great.
sound more confident.
Yes, yes. That's what it's all about, right? Getting your mind right, getting your clear path, and just own it. Own it. Great. Your 30-second perfect introduction.
Hi, I'm Grace Barkwell from Whitby, Ontario, Canada, and I help you be awake and lively, energetic, and even healthier as you do your own business.
Awesome. And I loved how you did healthier. It really took it to a different level, healthier. And remember, Grace, when you're on a platform like this virtually, you don't have to say your name. It'll give you another second or two to say something else because your name is on the screen. So something else they're changing about introductions and pitches and things. That was beautiful, ladies, beautiful. All right, with that said, I am with Networking Expert, and I'm here to help you build your business to the level that you want to build it by connecting, networking, and collaborating with the right people for you and your business. Get excited. Go back to the foundation of your business and build it stronger. Woo-hoo! All right.
Donna, I don't know how to change my background unless I actually leave and spend a minute or two to change it and then come
Worry
back
about
in.
it, Grace. Your background is beautiful. You don't have dirty laundry or anything like that behind you, so we're good. All right.
Donna calling me out.
You know what? You would see 3 fur babies behind me right now if I didn't have my background up and everything going on. So, all right. With that said, we are going to turn this next 25-ish minutes over to Jen. Jen,
Okay,
play.
I'm going to set my timer. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the importance of multiple streams of income. And so we probably know that a multiple stream of income are different types of income that come from different sources. And everyone should have several of these sources of income. So what do we do if somebody, we've lost our job, right? So in today's economic climate, a W-2 is no longer a source of security. And long since the days of companies being loyal to their employees, right? Many jobs that were once manned by people are now replaced by kiosks and AI. Corporate structures, again, they have long since quit caring about the employee loyalty in exchange for higher profits. We saw this. My husband just got fired 2 weeks ago from his job that he took. My husband makes incredible money, chose to take a laughable pay cut for this company, and only to be let go 6 months later after he had kind of cleaned up their mess. And they were like, yeah, thanks for nothing, right? You're now let go. If that had been our only stream of income, we would be hurting right now, even though my husband's, his job is very much in demand. He's very much in demand. But that's not always the case, right? There are people that have lost their jobs, and it has caused economic crisis. So having multiple streams of income is so important, especially in today's technological climate where it's so easy to have those streams of income. If your job fails or one of your income producing streams suffers or maybe even fails, the others can come along and make up for that failure and give you time to kind of decide, do I pivot? Are there changes to be made, or do we discard this completely? So having multiple streams of income are so important. For me, these are just my 2 cash cows. Of course, I love the apartments and storage buildings, right? Each door or facility I consider a stream of income. So if I buy 100-door complex and somebody moves out, that doesn't devastate me because I still have 99 other doors that make up for that vacancy. And same thing with the storage unit. If I have 50 units and 2 people move out, okay, I still have 48 streams of income. It's not going to disable me. And so we all know that saying, there's power in numbers. Well, that's certainly true in wealth building as well. And so definitely have in mind, where you want to be. My other second cash cow that I love, and this is kind of new for us, but we have an Amazon store, and it's not the drop shipping Amazon store that Amazon was like hating on and everybody got shut down. This is actually profitable automation where they actually have a warehouse where everything gets shipped, and it's amazing. And I love it. It's completely hands off. They have financing options, 100% financing at 0% interest for a year. And the company itself has 100% money back guarantee, but they also have 100% success rate. So you have a year to like make your money back to pay the 0% interest loan off. And then it's just a cash cow. It's just, and you know, you can make upwards to $5,000 a month on that. And so I completely love it. And so other streams of income that are viable, but also a bit more volatile. So let's keep in mind when we're talking about streams of income that we are not trying to give ourselves extra jobs, right? It's cool to have one full-time job, like we all have our one thing, but these other streams should not be full-time jobs. We're not over here trying to have 7 full-time jobs. These streams of income should really be passive or nearly passive. They should not take hardly any time at all out of your day or week. A quick audit or tweak here and there is all that should be required. So we want our multiple streams of income to relieve stress, not make more. So other streams that are more volatile, I can't stomach them, but they've made millions for some people. So it might take a little bit of education, and it might take a little bit of babysitting or a learning curve, but ownership in oil and gas companies, it's basically the same as a commercial syndication, which is what I do, but obviously with oil and gas. It is completely hands off though. You just wait for your funds to hit the bank. So when the oil industry is booming, so are distributions, right? So it's kind of like we're going to get rich super fast. But when the industry is in limbo or even stagnant, you are not getting paid. So this is a good option when you have other streams of income that are producing and are able to produce when your oil and gas isn't. Cryptocurrency. I have friends that have made millions and they swear by crypto. For me, I hate a roller coaster. I hate it. I can't stand that up and down. I hate how it makes my belly and my head feel. And the same is true with the cryptocurrency and the stock market. I can't handle it, right? I can't handle that stress. And so, but if you have a high tolerance for that kind of volatility and you have the wherewithal to learn how to do it, then absolutely go for it. And day trading. Okay, so this is a full-time job, which is great if you want or need one. There's an intense learning curve and timing is everything. But if you can get this mastered, millions can be made from it. The danger, though, is that any money lost is never going to be regained. And so this is something that I'm incredibly curious about. And one day I may dip my toe in it, but today is not that day. But I do really love the day traders and listening to them. So some streams of income that are perfect for a retiree or stay-home mom or anyone that needs to supplement their income without having that job. Affiliate marketing, like I think we all know, we're all a part of it in some way. Find those people, events, products that resonate with you and get paid to promote them. Easy peasy. Paid to speak platforms. I think these are getting a little bit harder to find, but they are out there. And so if you have that special niche to talk about and you can, get there. And again, in today's climate, most things are on Zoom anyway. So, the travel expenses that used to be astronomical, getting somewhere to speak or present, that's kind of falling away. But find those paid to speak platforms. We all have a message and we should all be sharing our messages. Create an evergreen workshop or book and sell it. You record it once and it's there forever. So, and then, it's just easy income. MLMs. I love an MLM. I've sold Avon for years. I don't anymore, but I made great money when I was selling Avon as a stay-home mom. I've sold Mary Kay. I didn't like it as well as Avon, but find a product that you love that you can stand behind and sell it. You get to make your own hours. You work when you want to work. You don't work when you don't want to work. And I loved Avon, especially because there were no in-home parties like some of the other MLMs. You just passed out your book and people bought it. And I loved it. And the great thing about an MLM is the marketing and reputation are already built. So you just sell and cash your checks. And in fact, that's such an old thing to say, cash your checks. everything is auto deposited in your account. So you don't even have to be bothered going to the bank. You just wake up and the money's in there. Sell your passion. I hate that Dar and Abby aren't on here, right? So, Dar makes cards. Abby sells her tech wizardry. If you make music, sell it. If you make art, sell it. If you sew, sell it. We were having dinner at our friends yesterday, and their daughter crochets these little animals, and they were so cute. And she pumps them out like a little sweatshop, and she sells them for $10 a piece. And she's like 13 and has all this money already saved up. So I'm trying to tell her to like, hey, this is how you grow your money, right? And let me show you how to get into apartments. But she loves to do it, and she's able to make money doing it. And I just love that. I love it that she's only like 13 years old and doing it. So service others. Now get your heads out of the gutter. I'm talking about cleaning houses. I'm talking about dog grooming, driving for Uber, cooking meal prep, pet sitting, whatever your talents may be that you can sell, do that thing. Because let me tell you, if I found somebody that would just cook my meals for me and box them up, so all I had to do was go to the fridge, microwave it, and eat it, that person has my business forever. And so just find those things that you love. If you love to cook, a meal prep company is perfect. And then you just make it in bulk. And that's what your customers get. The dog grooming can be super simple. Just wash the dogs. And I'm sure it's more than that, right? But even if it was like just dog washing, go to an apartment complex, and some of them actually have dog washing stations. Stand out there and be like, for $10, $20, I'll wash your dog. People will be lined up to just drop their dog off to you. And this is just easy money. And so now I get it. Some of these things do require some skin in the game. And sometimes it's not easy to come up with the cash to start these things. So here's hopefully a couple solutions that overcome those issues. Bartering. I love to barter. I think that is a skill that has kind of died by the wayside. But in today's climate where things are shifting, the economy is shifting, our political, climate is shifting, we all better learn to be bartering with our neighbors and our friends, because there may be a day when that's all we have. So barter. Will the company, person, or service allow you to barter your way in? Or maybe work pro bono until that financial requirement is met. How about split a portion of your income, tips, or proceeds until that financial requirement is met? And then if that doesn't work, some ways to come up with quick cash to get started. You can sell your plasma. Selling plasma is easy, and the medical industry is desperate for it. So you can actually get paid the same day you donate. And a lot of these plasma centers will pay you hundreds of dollars a month to just sit there and give your plasma. Have a yard sale. I think it's pretty safe to say we all have unwanted or unneeded junk laying around the house that other people would love to have. One man's junk is another man's treasure. I am the worst at yard sales. Like and I mean that by like, I'm kind of a junkie, right? Like I love to yard sale. Love it. I'll spend my life yard selling. I would spend my life going through thrift stores, Goodwills, all the things. But I can guarantee every year when I have a yard sale, all those things that I've had to have at the other yard sales are in my yard sale. And I think it's just, I don't know, probably some childhood trauma in there. Did you know you can sell your life insurance policy? If you are not going to need your life insurance policy or it's going to expire, you can sell it to somebody else before you just lose the money on it. I am so fascinated by this. And there are actually companies out there that will help you. They will source the people that are needing to buy your insurance policy. And it's quick cash. It's probably going to take a hit, but it's better than losing the money just letting it expire. So if you have an insurance policy that's going to expire, absolutely look into selling it and at least get the cash out. So I have about 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut a little short, but in today's technological world, there is no shortage of strategies that can help you make money. The trick is just finding out which ones fit your lifestyle. What are you passionate about? And then going for it, right? So take the fear out of it. And there's no reason for anybody not to have multiple streams of income. And I'm certainly happy to help or coach or whatever that looks like for any of you to make that happen.
Wow, that was a lot of information, and a lot of information that I didn't even think about or know about. I used to sell on Amazon, but Jen, tell me a little more about how the Amazon thing works, because I've never heard of it the way you said it was.
Yeah, and I really butchered it, and I'm sorry.
No, I think it's just new to me, so I don't get it. Yeah.
So here's the thing. So my thing was we did have a drop shipping store. We spent $15,000 on it. And after about 6 months, we made about 5,000 of our money back and they shut it down. And it's like, too bad. That money is gone, right? And so my son started selling with, the company is called Profitable Automation. Now there's another company that's similar to it, so make sure you get the right one. And I have a link when we're ready to drop our stuff in the chat. It's the direct link. So when my son started selling this, I was like, whoa, time out. Like, don't do this. You're going to get in trouble. And he was like, no, listen, Linda. The issue that Amazon hated with the drop shipping is like you were kind of a middleman, right? And people weren't getting their returns. They weren't getting their product a lot of time. And Amazon is super strict about that. Like they take their the product very seriously. So this company has been in business for 10 years. They actually have warehouses all over America, and they partner with Mattel. They partner with Dyson. They're getting ready to sign a contract with Walmart and Walgreens. And so it's a real store. And then they buy like stores that are closing, they buy up all their things. If it's like a buy one, get one free, they'll buy as much as they can, but it's actually shipped to the warehouse. So Amazon loves them because their actual product, there's somebody touching the product, shipping it. If there's a problem, it's replaced, returned, all that. So they've been in business for 10 years. And they have a 100%. These are the things that sold me. And it took me a while. It took me actually a couple months, and now I kick myself, of listening to my son sell the stores. And I was like, all right, I'm convinced. And it took me a minute to convince my husband, because once you've lost our money once, you're not getting it again.
Yes.
But the two things that sold me, one is the 100% money back guarantee. If you do not make your money back in the first year, they will give you your investment back. And they basically buy your LLC, right? So you have to have an LLC. They basically buy your LLC. That has never, ever happened because they show you and they do all the work for you, which is, again, what I love. They are going to grow that business for you. So nobody has ever said, I didn't make my money back by my LLC. So right there, that was like, okay, that's really important to me. The other thing that I loved is the 0% financing. So you can pay cash for your store, but why would you if you can get free money? And I am all about free money. I'm all about other people's money, right? Like I want my money to go on vacation, right? So it's other people's money, 0% financing for the first year, which gives you that year to build your store up instead of, and then there's your, I think the store is like 35,000, but you've more than made the $35,000 to pay the 0% interest off. So you got your store with free money. and they're making, my son last month made $30,000. He makes more money than we do. And not that I'm not happy about that, right? Because I wanted him to be financially secure. But I'm like, he kind of had me sold at $7,000 a month. But he's been doing it. And now I'm like, crap, if I had done it way back then, I'd be making 30 grand a month. Right. So, and his is a little different too, because he's also selling. So it's not all from the Amazon store, but they have this dialed down to a science. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. If I don't make my money back in 10 months, I'm not out anything, right? Like sell them the LLC, pay off the 0% financing, and I'm not out, right? So to me, it was a super safe bet. But I mean, I'm listening to like his coaching calls, and I'm listening to other people, and I'm reading the reviews, right? And I think it's solid. I've met the owners, and I've met like the other managers, and I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
But
So
it does
how
seem
long
like a
have you been
scam.
doing this? How long have you been doing this, Jen?
This is our third month, right? So we aren't really seeing. So one of the things that they say, you can run it's your business, right? You can run it how you want. I just followed their model and Cameron's model, where for the first year, we're not going to take any distributions. We're just going to keep rolling it into our stores, right? So if our store makes $5,000, we're going to roll the whole $5,000 back into our store and just grow it, grow it, grow it. You don't have to do that, right? You could take $1,000 out. You could take the whole 5,000 out and just let your store ride on the initial investment. But obviously, the more you put in your store, the higher the algorithm. So somebody's looking for, Barbie, or, gifts for little girls, whatever that would be, in the Amazon search bar. Your store is always going to stay on top, and they're always working your store, so it stays on top.
Awesome.
The other thing I love is they only take so many customers a month. So once they're capped, I think it's 10 or 20 customers, that's done, because that's all they can work to make sure that all of our stores are on top. Nobody's getting left behind. Everybody's making their money. Yeah, I really believe in it. So we're on month 3. And the other beautiful thing, it takes, I block all my time out in hour increments, but it takes like 10 minutes to literally go on there and say, like, do you take a distribution or do you roll your money over? Like probably 30 seconds, but I kind of nerd out on the numbers. Like I hate numbers, but when you're talking about money in my pocket, girl, I will look at those numbers all day long.
Yes.
And so
For
I kind
my
of
money,
geek out.
my money, I'm in. If it's anyone else's,
Yeah.
no.
Right. Like the financial statements we get from the bank and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. But you bet I care when that ACH from our apartments hits the bank. Like I care about those, right? So yes, I do geek out on it a little bit, because I'm like, oh, this is fun, right? And it's so easy. So I don't know if this is like the catch. Like there has to be a downside somewhere. After the first year, they do take 30% of your, I guess, profit, but they're running the show. Right. And if you're making 30, right. And yeah. And if you're making 30 grand a month, like, or, who cares? Right. But my thing is like, I will gladly give you 30% to make it work. Right. Because again, I don't want my multiple streams of income to be a job. I have a job. Right. So what I need is for things to be easy and hands off.
So Grace has a question. Grace.
Yeah, my question is, so would you say eBay is passe, or Facebook Marketplace is passe and this other stuff is better, or what?
Okay, so I mean, it's different for everybody, right? If you're on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, you have to man that yourself, right? So you're the one posting, you're answering messages, you're doing all the work. Where Profitable Automation, they do all the work. I don't do anything. I go in once a month, and you can pick your time of month. We just did it the day we started. And you roll your money over or take your distribution. That's it. They do everything. I don't get messages. I don't get harassed. I don't know what's been returned. I don't know what's been complained. I don't know anything, and I don't care. I just want my check.
And I'm going to tell you, ladies, you know, my e-commerce business, that's what it was all about. I started with eBay. I started with so many companies that are already out of business now, but in the marketplace, I have my own website. Shipping is time consuming when you have to ship something. The cost is always changing. And guess what? If it gets sent back and you have to send it out again, the post office don't care. You have to re-buy the shipping label with the postage, and that adds up. I'm all in, Jen. I'm going to look more into this because, you know, I just got out of my e-commerce business. I've got it about 70% sold now or donated. But I'm almost out of that now. Because it was just breaking my back, my brain, my head hurt, my stomach whirled. And I did it for 20 plus years. It's just that the time in my life now, I don't want to unbox things, box things, move things, shuffle things, ship things. I don't want to do that anymore. I want easy. I'm getting lazy at my older age. Ladies, I deserve it, right? We deserve it. We deserve it.
Yeah. And so we just found out Saturday that grandbaby number 8 will be here in January. Look, I have better things to do now. Like, we're moving to Missouri. We get to actually be with our grandkids. I'm going to be busy, right? Like, I have never babysat any of my grandkids. I have never, not one time, had them
You are
overnight.
missing out on a whole
Girl,
kind of life, Jen.
we didn't buy, we're renting a 5-bedroom house. And I did that on purpose because I was like, I want a nursery. I want a playroom. Like, this house is like the house for children. It's got a pool. I've bought sprinklers. I've bought all the baby stuff, right? And I'm like, this is going to be like a daycare center. And I, you know, and I'm like, this is the time that I want everything on autopilot. I want to check my bank account once a week. Actually, I'm not going to. It's my husband's. This is his job now, full time, right? Like, he's underwriting. All I need to do is raise money. So, and I love to do that. And that's it, right? Like, everything is autopilot. I just want him to check the bank account and be like, how much money can I spend on my kids?
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to spend every bit of that.
Exactly.
But Grace, I did see in the chat that you asked what a W-2 is. And so it might be different in Canada. But a W-2,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing, just a different name. That's all. Because
Gotcha.
LaDonna explained to me. Anyways, if you're going to have a house with a swimming pool and little kids and everything, my suggestion is that you put a fence around that with a door and a lock way up high, and only open the door when there's adults around to supervise. That's it.
Yeah.
And
So
avoid any tragedies.
Yeah, no, the law requires that. So that's already there. And then all of the sliders, and there's only 2 sliders, there's only 2 ways to get out to the pool. They actually have alarms. So it'll alarm when you open the door, but if the door stays open, it will like really alarm. But that's fine. And they're all, I mean, they're either old enough to know better or they're little enough they can't reach the door anyway. But I did buy a baby pool with the little umbrella, so when we're out there, you know, we have babies.
Awesome, Jen. You're going to find that you're going to love having those babies, but they're going to make you tired. They're going to make you tired, but it's a blessing to have babies. The youngest one of my 4 is 5. The other 3 are teenagers. I do not like teenagers. I do not. I love them, but I do not like them. But the 5-year-old, all the loves that I can adore. We had a campfire on the blowout mattress Saturday night. The campfire was the candles that light with a battery, you know. We put it in the middle of the air mattress because he wanted to do a camp out. But I'm like, okay, we're going to do camping in the house today. So, whatever they want, just do it, Jen. It's your love.
Yeah. Oh no.
Remember,
we're going to be suckers. Like, don't even be sending your kids over here with any rules, right?
No.
We're not going to follow them.
No. It's what goes on at Mama's house stays at Mama's house. Don't feed them chocolate. Now we're feeding them 3 times more chocolate and sending them home. So
The
yeah,
only problem with it is when they come to live with you. Then you have to stop being the
yes.
Mimi anymore. Then you have to be the
That's
parent.
when
And
you
that,
stop being a mama and you have to be a parent. Then we had
yeah.
our 2 boys moved home. The 2 oldest ones moved home with my daughter for a short time. And after about 2 weeks, my daughter said, well, we can't do this very long. I'm getting fat and they're getting spoiled because I could, I loved I'd have them all live with me if I could, you know. So my next question is oil and gas. Is that the stock market you're talking about, or is that something different?
It is different. So there are oil and gas companies. We're following one now. I will, if I can find it fast enough in my email, but I can send it.
Later. I was just kind of wondering how that.
Yeah. So there are actual companies and they run basically the same as an apartment. It's just oil and gas, right? So they buy wells, I guess, or shipping containers. Sometimes they're like the actual barges,
Yeah.
and you just have a stake in that ownership. And so same thing, right? You put $50,000 in, you get X amount in return. And it's lucrative. So when the gas, if they ever open our pipelines back up, there's gonna be a lot of money made. But right now, the people that have, invested, like some have lost or they're just sitting stagnant. It's like they will make their money. Same thing with real estate. Sometimes we take a dip and we don't make any money, but we're not going to lose it, right? We're just kind of like hanging out. And then when the economy shifts, man, that's when millions are made, right? And so it's the exact same premise, but we're talking instead of real estate, it's the oil and gas fields.
And then the next thing, I love what Tamara put in the chat. They now have drive-through dog wash, like a car wash. If I could find one of those around here, I would be there every single week.
It's so funny because my renter told me about it yesterday. He said, oh, I took the dog to the dog wash. I was like, okay, then how much oh, it was only $10. I was like,
$10.
$10 to wash. And he said, yeah, it's like a car wash. What you do is you just put your money in and they have all of this stuff there. Your shampoo, the tick stuff, the fleece,
Wow.
everything, $10.
That is awesome. I would do that every week if we had one of those, or if I find out it's, you clog your drains up at home and all of that with the hair. And when you do it outside, it's a mess because as soon as you're done, they're getting in the dirt. And no, that big blow dryer alone is worth $10 for me just to dry the dogs, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the affiliate program because I don't think that all of us understand affiliate programs well enough. Like, for instance, I have an affiliate program for everyone that you bring in. Dr. Pat will tell you, well, I hope she will tell you, she gets a check almost every month because she brings people to the membership, like Joy, Margaret, there's several others that she's brought in. Do you know that she makes 20% on everyone that she brings in? Everyone that she brings in, she makes 20% of that every month. Now, you may think, oh, that's only $3 or $6. Well, multiply that if you brought in 10 and they stayed. That's $60 extra a month, let's just say. Plus, now multiply that by a year.
Right.
That is a no-brainer, ladies.
Right.
Why are you not bringing more friends to our membership? And our membership is low enough where the majority of people can afford.
Yeah. So I had to do the math. That's $7,200 for the year, which are like, that's several car payments, right? That could be a car. Like if you could pay cash for a car for that. You
Now,
can have a different car every year.
yes, now put in that every time I have a workshop, the large one where speakers come in to speak, or people come in just to listen as an attendee, guess what? When Dr. Pat brings someone, again, it's 20% she's paid. That's not one time. If Joy comes in and speaks, I'm just using her for an example. If she comes in and speaks and she buys the $200 speaker spot at 20%, how much is that, Jen?
$40.
$40 on one. She gets that every time she comes in. It never expires. It's like Joy is hers forever. As long as Joy doesn't drop out, she gets paid. On every ticket she buys from me for any workshop, big, small, large, the membership, whatever it is, 20%. Imagine, Tamara, what it would do for you if you could make an extra, let's say $5,000 a year.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start putting it out in Facebook again because I used to put it out in Facebook, but I'm gonna do it again because and now that we're talking about that, that's a lot of money right there.
That is.
But here's the thing too, Tamara, that's just LaDonna. So if you do that for Dr. Pat, that's another $5 grand. Find somebody else, that's another $5 grand.
Because they all,
Right?
I mean, most people have some kind of something. I do 20%. Some people only do 5%. Some people don't do any. But imagine if you can just put, and you know what? This is what I want you to remember. When you guys are going out and making these connecting calls, I'm going to use Grace for an example. Grace goes and has someone she's talking to about coffee, and she's selling them coffee every month. They already know about the coffee. They know about Dr. Bob coming in on every Tuesday to speak about coffee. But now Grace has no reason to talk to Susie Q about coffee this week. Grace can pick up the phone and say, hey, I belong to this awesome membership that's only $35 a month. And you get to come in and speak, teach, learn, connect, network, collaborate. And she brings in she's making 20% off her membership every single month.
And there's no work involved.
There's no work.
You're already going to talk to that person anyway.
They will decide to join or not. And they get the first 7 days free. So you're not asking them to spend any money when you first talk to them or ever, because once they come, I'm going to be connecting with them now. And then I will say, okay, after your 7 days, they're going to know that when they enter into the website and sign up for the free 7 days. It's all outlined there for them. They know exactly. They can cancel at any time. I have a lady right now that's she's sick. She hasn't been with us in a while. She's fighting cancer, and she really can't do the meetings and everything. I didn't cancel her because she's in on the introductory price, which was only like $23 or something. I put her membership on hold. So that way, when she comes off hold, she's still paying the introductory price. We don't want to mess anyone over. We're just here to help one another. When Joy went on vacation to the Barbados, I put her membership on hold because she was gone for 30 days. I'm not going to have her pay for something she's not using. So, paid to speak. Jen, do you have anything paid to speak right now that you've discovered that you know about? Because those are hard to find, ladies.
They are. No, because I've kind of backed off from that right now. Jesse Cruz, Cruz, he does paid to speak, and can help, right? And I do have a coach that was like, let's do paid to speak things. He would source that. Because again, I'm not trying to look for another job, but I can't do anything this summer, right? Like we've had too many life events. I'm trying to move across the country. But I know Jesse Cruz, it's JESSECRUZ. You can find him on Facebook. He does paid to speak events.
Now,
In
when
fact,
you
he's
say
having
pay
one.
to speak, you mean they pay us to speak, correct?
Yes, 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 yes.
Perfect, perfect. Because I have found that most of the time, everyone wants you to pay to speak. And I understand that because it costs. Even though when Jen comes to speak in August, she has paid to speak at my event in August, okay? Because it costs me money to put on the program. You know, I pay my team for backgrounds, the videographer, the advertisement, the ads. It just goes on and on. The speaker boxes, all that costs money. I don't know that you could really do it free unless you're bartering or something, because there's just so much it entails to get the speakers to come, because speakers want something for their time. Even if they didn't have to pay, they want something for their time. And a lot of people don't let you sell from the stage. And if you don't sell from the stage and you're paying to speak, then how are you going to get your money back? But that being said, you have to know how to sell from the stage. It's not just a cookie cutter thing. You ask for a sell and people buy. You have to say the right words in the right manner and make everyone excited to give you their money. And follow up. You've got to make sure you have time for follow up, because if you don't, you're not going to close the deals 9 times out of 10. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Jen?
Yes, yes. And I'm the worst at follow up. The worst.
And follow up is key, especially when you're trying to sell anything yourself. And let's face it, in today's life, we are selling ourselves, lady. I don't care if you're selling a bottle of perfume, you're going to have to sell yourself before the perfume sells. The other thing, the evergreen. Now, I'm newer to this. I'm putting out programs. I'm getting ready to put out a large coaching program, and I'm excited about it. Again, it's cost me money to do it because I want all the video to be right. And I want to make sure I have all the downloads that can help and everything like that. But I'm excited about it, that I don't have to do anything once I have created it and put it online.
Yeah.
Except I have to get people to know it's there. So that's key, to make sure people know it's there. You've got to get that out. So I am selling it to some degree for a while anyway, but it's not like it's one-on-one coaching. It's something else I can put with it. So I love that you brought that idea up. But
Okay, explain evergreen to me.
So evergreen is like you have a program that you want to sell. You're not there. You've just videoed it. You put the downloads, whatever you're going to do, and you put it up online for sale.
You record it once and you're done. It's there forever.
And then people can just keep buying it, and they have access to it forever unless you put a cap on it. I'm going to put mine there forever because I think for what I do, people can go back over and over again and refresh themselves. But I hear people doing this on Amazon. I hear people doing this on their website. I hear people doing this on different platforms. I think it's a great idea, and I wish I would have done it 10 years ago.
Yeah, so there's a platform. Hold on, because I have it pulled up. Give me just a second.
Udemy is like that, right?
Yeah, Udemy is. There's also a platform called The Great Discovery. It costs, it's like $400, but you can put your courses on there and people buy it. So it's like, yeah, it's $400, but if you have $100 course and 4 people bought it, you broke even. But if 8 people bought it, now you've made your money, right? And so if 50 people buy it, it's like, okay. And then you've not done anything. Like you did the work, right? But you don't have to ever do the work again. Like it just sits there and people buy it, right? And they can pull it up with a search word. And there you go. So yeah, you would have it at all the places, right? Like if I did an evergreen, which Eric and I are working on doing one, we're gonna have it all the places, right? So
Yes. Because people don't know unless they know. And the only way they're going to know is if you get out there and figure out different ways to let people know, hey, Tamara has this magnificent coaching program out there for women over 50. How are they going to find out if you're not out there? In the search bars, on websites, on different platforms, on different organizations. And let me tell you, speaking is the fastest way to get known, but learn to speak before you speak. I don't know how clear to say that because you don't want to get up there and okay. We're all gonna go every once in a while where no one knows if you make a mistake unless you make it clearly known, because I don't know what Tamara's coming out of Tamara's mouth next. Unless she makes it, she goes, oh no, I didn't say that right. Then I know. You don't want to do that on stage because number one, they're paying you. They'll never pay you again. Or you paid them and now you've lost some of the consistency to some people. Some people's going to crack up and think that's hilarious and you're going to win them over just with that. And then other people are going to say, oh my gosh, that's not very professional. You can't make everyone happy. So you find the middle ground, I'd say, and go with it. But learn to speak before you get up in a crowd and speak, virtually or in person. And guess what? Grace, Tamara, Jen, you can't do it unless you practice. And that's one of the reasons that I made this platform is you can come here and practice all you want. And all we're going to do is cheer you on and tell you some ideas to make it better. No judging. And, coaches charge thousands of dollars to teach this. And you're paying $35 or less to get started, before you pay these big coaches or decide if you even want to go that way. Any other questions? Tamara, you really haven't asked too many questions today. That's not like you. What other questions before we go to the marketplace?
I don't really have any other questions because Jen usually answers most of them while you're doing it. The only question I had was the evergreen, because to me, evergreen was a more like the, what is that? The recycle program, or the all natural, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, wait, the only reason I said that was because please don't take this the wrong way, but Chara told me, you need to do this. And he was talking about doing videos and making a video class and put it online. I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And he was like, Tam, really seriously, you guys could make all sorts of money doing that. I'm like, what?
But Chara is right. But Tamara, I want you to know that something like that is going to cost you money to get it if you want to do it right. Because it's like you need someone to cut the video correctly. Not just make it small and put a little frame around it. No, it needs to be cut professionally. And like Jen was saying, different platforms charge you different money, a different amount of money. You need a website. You need all of these things you're not going to be able to sell a program just by being on YouTube or being on LinkedIn or being on Facebook. I'm not saying you'll never sell one, but you're not going to sell enough for I've been working on this course that I'm doing right now for almost a year. And it's still not ready. It's a larger course, but I want it right. And I did 5 modules, and they all have at least four series in the module, 4 steps. And I think I have 4.
Okay, I found this.
But I still have module 5, but I guarantee you when I start replaying them all back, I'll probably find more glitches.
And if you spend that much time on a course and that much energy, you want it to be evergreen, right? So like, you don't ever want to be doing that. And you don't want to be doing that every year. Again, we're trying to eliminate full-time jobs, not add more full-time jobs.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to do it where I can sell it in module 1 without module 5. So if they don't want to buy the whole $5,000 course, maybe they want to buy just a $1,000 course or a $300 course or a $99 course, because everyone's different. See, for me, I wanted perfection, as I know how to. I'm not doing it on my own. My team's doing it, and an outside person outside my team's working on it. Is that I'm not that kind of learner. I can't buy a course and listen to it and see it and learn a dang thing. So I want it to be very visual, very hands-on as you can on a video, because I could never learn from that. I have to have Jennifer teaching me that, Tamara teaching me that, Grace teaching me that. Grace talked to me probably 6 times before I bought 1 month of coffee, because I had questions. Anything that goes in my body, I want to know, what is it going to do for me? I just want to know, what is it going to do for me? If it'll make me feel better, get rid of brain fog. Now, I know Grace can't guarantee that, but I want to know it's not going to make me sleep more or want to sleep more. I want to know if it's going to make me want to jump off the building. Those are the kind of things I want to know. When I go buy a coach, I want to know what I'm getting. And I've messed up in the past on coaches. My very first coach wasn't meant for me. He was a go do this script and come back to me. I'm not a script person. I don't memorize things like that word for word. So, but that's just me not knowing. So know if it sounds easy, you're missing something. So yes. So we are going to go into the marketplace now, unless anyone else has questions, comments. Did you want to add anything, Jen?
No, just no reason, no excuse to not have multiple streams of income. None.
Absolutely. You know, and I will tell you, my husband wants to retire and his body needs to retire. And he's been saving. You might have heard this story, but he's been saving since we've been in our 30s, early 30s. But let me tell you, it's scary when you have to say goodbye. Like Jen's husband makes a great amount of money. So does mine. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have that income coming in, you're like, well, how are we going to eat or pay the mortgage? Do I work? Absolutely. But my money usually goes to Seth, Tyler, Bryson, a water slide here, the camp here, you know, miscellaneous things. Do I have my bills? Yes, but Big Daddy can pay those. But then we don't have the, you know, because he's been doing retirement. Now he's like, well, how do we get the money out of our house? Because we don't want to sell a house. We want to stay here, but we have a lot of money that's equity in the house. What's the best options to do that? Do we do it now or late? There's so many decisions to make, Jen. But
yeah,
but
you have time
for you.
Right. So, and the beautiful thing is you have the time to talk about this. Yes. We didn't. Yes. Right. So what happens? Like, be prepared. Always be prepared for the worst. Yes. My husband made $250,000. His health demanded we take a pay cut, and we were okay. We did not plan on having no pay.
No, right? No time to prepare.
None.
That's what I'm afraid for my husband. He's gonna come home one day, they're going to have a layoff. They're going to fire him because he's been there so many years and he just don't put up with any crap, and new management's coming in because he knows more than the management's coming in.
Right.
He's been for 35 plus years now. And his body, his one day he's just going to be walking across the floor and his foot's just going to give out. I know it. You know, they're going to call me and say, come and get this old man. I don't know, but I don't want it to become that. I want to be prepared. You know, his truck has been super glued and duct taped together. Literally, it's 10 years old. We've had it paid off for years. And do we finance a truck? Do we not finance a truck because finance rates are not? We had that one financed for under 2% when we financed it 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Now, so we don't buy new vehicles anymore, but they're new to us. They're only a couple years old. They don't have many miles on it. Well, $27,000 later for a used truck, do we finance it? They want almost 9%. Do we take it out of 401k? Do we take it out of retirement? Do we take it out of, those were some big decisions. Big decisions when he wants to retire. And I don't want all these car payments when he retires. We have one, I don't want a second one. I said, figure it out, but one of them gets no payment. Pay off my car, pay for your truck, 2 car payments. But my car payment is financed under 4%. You see what I'm saying? And when you add another 4% on top of another, wow, 8% interest makes a big difference. And you just bought a new car, didn't you? Your husband or somebody, I think I heard on Facebook or something. Did you guys go through this? Do we finance, not finance? Do we?
Yeah. Yeah. And so when we bought a Cadillac, right? Because we had the money and now we don't. But we do, right? Because here's the thing. We have those other streams of income that do replace his income, right? Like we're okay. It was a shock, but we're okay. But if we didn't, that's the thing. This is where the point needs to hit. If we didn't have these streams of income, I don't want to say we'd be screwed because he could get a job today, making $250,000 again. I could get a job. I don't believe I'm employable, you know, but I could flip burgers at McDonald's, right? Like I could,
but who
right? But I don't want to.
Exactly. I could go back to teaching. I don't want to. I could go buy a restaurant, work at a restaurant. I don't want to. I don't want to work hard like that anymore, people.
I don't want to be told where to be, when to be,
how to be,
you know, dress this way. You know, when I want to have a cranky day, I want to have a cranky day. I don't want to be in, you know, taking orders from somebody when I'm having a cranky day.
And
right?
If I want to nap, I want to go take a nap. And if I want to go have lunch with my husband tomorrow because it's his day off, I want to be able to do, maybe I'll be able to do that at noon because I'm talking to Tamra or Grace or Jen, but I can do that at 1 because I don't have an appointment at 1. You know, I mean, that's
freedom.
But we deserve that, ladies. None of us on this screen is 20 anymore. Look at Grace.
Wait a minute. I thought I was 20. No, not really. I'm just kidding.
No, Tamra, you're already 25, baby.
My sense of humor and my IQ is probably right at 20, but everything else has aged.
Yes.
For sure. But try to have a stream of income for everything you have going out. So if you have a house payment, try to have a stream of income for that. If you have a car payment, you know, if you have, you know, 5 apartment buildings, you can finance 5 cars. It doesn't matter, right? They're paid for. Right. It's free money. Right. But if you don't, you know, and we do, but we kind of had plans, right? Yeah. Like, and my husband's a planner, right? He's a CPA.
When he lost his job, you had to pivot and pivot fast, didn't you?
Super fast.
Yes.
Right. And so we literally sat that weekend. He was fired on a Friday afternoon. We kind of just took the rest of the day off to just let that shock kind of wear off. And by Saturday, he was like, do I get another job? And I was like, absolutely not. We have struggled for 5 years because we needed an underwriter. We needed somebody to manage our systems and processes. And we need somebody to manage the taxes, the banking, just the banking. Yes. And I'm like, nope, we have struggled long enough this is your job now.
Yeah.
And if
And
we
he's
can't
never
take
been
down
to
something,
that.
yeah, the decision was made. And I was like, if we can't take something down this year or at least early next year to replace your income, then we're in the wrong business. We need to get jobs anyway.
Yes.
Right. And so already he's underwritten several deals. He's, you know, and a lot of this is really getting him up to speed. Well, one, I wanted him to kind of have a sabbatical because he has worked for 30 years so hard. He's tired. Like, I need his brain to like reset, right? I need his whole spirit to just reset. And it's been 2 weeks now. He's getting antsy, right? But he's taking the trainings, and now we're trying to get him up to speed, and he's loving it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what, this was meant to be.
Absolutely. God puts us in these positions for some reason. And, you know, my mom didn't teach me a lot of greatness when I was younger, but one thing she did teach me that was correct. Don't ask him why, don't ask him when, just know it's coming. He's going to put the right things in your life at the right time. If he takes something away, it's for a reason. I don't know the reason still yet for some things, and I'm waiting for them to turn around, but I just keep sitting here waiting and know it's going to happen. But again, you can't let 3 rowboats go by you while you're drowning and say, oh, I'll wait for the next rowboat.
Yeah.
Some people do that. You have to think, like with my husband's truck. We went to pick up something for the new stairway. He's rebuilding our stairs at Lowe's, which is probably 10 miles down the road. And the truck barely made it home. And we had to decide, okay, we can't duct tape it and all that. And we're not putting, you know, $8,000 for a new motor in a 12-year-old truck. So we had to pivot. We can't go with one car. So what are we going to do? Well, it's like Jen said, we have these multiple income streams, and he figured out, okay, this is how we're doing the truck. And we're going to go pick up the truck tomorrow because, you know, we had a few things we wanted done differently. It's not a new truck, but it's new to us. It's 2 years old. And we need a truck. We live in the country, you know, so it worked out. But it's we had to pivot. And it's just, you think it's simple as a car, but I'm like, he works an hour away and he's gone 14 hours a day. I can't be stuck out in the country with no way to get to the grandbabies if they need me. Because if not, I'm going to Uber there. And that's going to cost him money. So we're going to get there. I want to do, since there's the 4 of us that are here today, I want to do the marketplace a little bit differently today. Because I know what Jen sells. I know what Tamara sells. I know what Grace sells. Now, you may have came today with something different to sell, and you can offer that by all means. But what I really want to know today is, Grace, for example, if you want to talk coffee, tell me how we can help you in your coffee business. If you want to talk about something else, just tell me what you want to talk about and tell me, how can I help you? How can Jen help you? Are you looking for people to go to a meeting? Are you looking for people to buy? Are you looking for a review? Tell me 3 things of how I can help you. I'm going to give you a couple more examples. If I know that Tamara is trying to figure out how to do this $24 class that she offered a little while back, but hasn't done it yet. If she was going to talk about that, how can I help you in 3 different ways in that class, for example? Is it putting it in the newsletter? Is it putting it on my website? Is it going to Google? Is it advertising? Jen, I don't want to spend $50,000, give you $50,000 of my money today to invest in a car wash, a laundromat, a storage unit. But how else can I help you? How else can I help you so that you can create more money for you and me? Is that going to go find an apartment building for you? Is that to give you a bunch of names of people that I know has money for you to connect with, that I can connect the 2 of you with? I don't know. Pretend I don't know how. because you'll probably tell me out of those three, at least one way I can help you. And I'm telling you, some shifts have happened on social media. We've talked about Facebook. Facebook is suspending, blocking, putting people in jail right and left. I'm hearing it daily now. Be prepared. LinkedIn is saying now that you need 30 to 35 recommendations for Google to see you, for those little crawly spiders to notice that you're on LinkedIn. That will help you tremendously with your Google rating and with your LinkedIn rating. A big change, Instagram. I've never sold a thing, talked to a person, nothing on Instagram, but people swear by it. But what has shifted in Instagram is Google is huge in Instagram. They notice you faster in when your Instagram is doing something, when you're posting, however it is. But you have to post your pictures a certain way. Did you know that? Yes. For example, see, I am so good at this game. Again, just free coaching everywhere. I learned from I paid this guy a lot of money for coaching. He's a speaker coach. He's not teaching me how to speak. He's teaching me how to be noticed as a speaker. It takes a good year to be noticed as a true speaker. When you put up your pictures and you save them, I used to save mine, LaDonna 1, LaDonna 2, LaDonna 1.1, blah, blah, blah. No, LaDonna.McAbee.jpg or PNG. You must have your name in there and have the dot in between. LaDonna.McAbee. You don't want to put your business name, because then what if you change businesses or you're in a different workshop, you're giving a different workshop? You want it to come up under Tamara.Patrick, Jen.Falloon or Jennifer.Falloon, however you want to be known for, Jen, on social media. Grace.Barkwell. If you're going to use, they say not to use a middle initial because it confuses Google. And save all your pictures in Pinterest, because Pinterest is another way of you just, Google sees it, save them as Tamara.Patrick.jpg or PNG. But it's also a housing. What if you lose your Facebook? Now you have all your pictures saved in Pinterest, because you may not you may not put everything in LinkedIn as you put in YouTube or vice. I use my YouTube for all my videos. It's kind of like my housing unit for all my videos. So I'm going to start with Jennifer, since she was our speaker today. Jen, tell me what you want to talk about, and at least 3 ways that I can help you, how Jen can help you. How can we help you?
Okay, well, number one, we don't necessarily have to have $50,000, right? So there are ways for you to invest with less money. So that's number one. So if you had 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, and you're like, I want to get started, we can start with that. So that's 1. 2, if you don't have it or you have it, that's your emergency money. I never want anybody's emergency money, right? Like, keep your emergency money in your emergency fund. Make the connection, right? If you have anybody that left a job and or they say they left their retirement plan dormant, like, we can roll that over, right? Somebody that is a high income earner that's complaining about taxes. Anybody that just, they have money, right? And be like, hey, if you want another stream of income, I know this chick, and you don't have to know anything about my business, right? It's super easy. I know this chick that can make you money met her, love her, whatever you want to say, nice things. Can I make that introduction? And then make sure you know, or do an email with both of us so you get credit for that, right? So even though you didn't bring any of your own money into the deal, by bringing the connection and they brought the money, you get ownership in the deal. And the third way is do the Amazon store. It's basically free. Do the Amazon store, let it ride, build it up for a year. If you're making 10 grand a month after 5 months of the following year, there's no reason for you not to have your $50,000 to invest with me. No reason. So those are my 3 things.
That's awesome. Now, Jen, do you have to do the $50,000? Is that the lowest amount from the Amazon store?
Oh no, the Amazon store is like 35,000.
Oh,
And I
okay.
might be wrong on that. Okay. So, but again, you get the 0% financing, do it that way. It's free money. I'm just saying if you made 10 grand in
Right.
your store after the first year, like I'm really sold on just letting it ride that first year. If you can, if you can't, no shame, but if you can, let that sucker ride. But after that, no reason that after 5 months, 6, if you wanted to go on vacation, you do not have the money to invest.
That is awesome. I love that idea. Tamara?
I have a question about that. Okay, so doing an Amazon store, you have to have something to sell. What do you have to sell?
They do it for you. So they're partnered with Mattel. Profitable Automation is partnered with Mattel, Dyson. Shoot, there's a couple other like big brands, but they are signing a contract with Walmart and Walgreens. So they will be selling Walgreens, Walmart items. But right now, 100% Mattel and Dyson. And I know there's another big one. I can't think of what it is, and I don't want to misrepresent. So yeah, they have the products for you. Now here's the other thing that I do like, and then we'll move on, but this is important. They are a Christian-based company, so they're not going to be selling X-rated items. They're not going to be selling things that would embarrass you, right? And so that was something that was a concern to me, and I heard other people say that. Well, like, can I pick? No, but no worries, because they are very aware of the products. They're very picky about what products they will partner with.
That sells me even more on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So Jen, if I understood right, you can do small investments through you, connection with money people, and the Amazon store. Perfect. Okay, Tamara, what do you want to talk about today? And give me at least 3 ways we can help you with that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to set up my own event probably in August, and I'm gonna need speakers. So that's one way. 2, I need to know if I am boring or not boring, because for some reason people don't want to read or look at my videos on Facebook. Not you guys. You guys are good at it, but I need to know what's going to draw other people. So can somebody give me some ideas for that?
Yes.
And then the third thing is just just tell me how I can make myself better. That's what that third thing is.
So let me tell you, Tamara, number 1, I think you told me you're going to do a program. So I would not ask speakers to speak or even talk about it until you have the date. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Stop thinking about it. Just make the date. Set the date. Set the date and the time and the name of it, and be done with it. You're going to do it. You're not thinking about doing it. Pull out your calendar, set a date, time, the name of the event. Then we can start bringing you speakers. Stop thinking. Just do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. That is the most simplest thing. Date, time, and the name of your event. Okay. Now, then you said, no one's looking at my videos. Okay, let me tell you, and I've said this before, you're all frozen, so it must be me. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Okay, I think we're having a little internet glitch. Tamara, are you there? Jen? Grace? Okay, so hold on. The internet is going wacky. Okay, so what I was going to say about the video is that you never know who's listening because everyone's not going to comment. Everyone's not going to give you a heart. You just keep putting it out there. And one thing I would suggest, do different backgrounds. Like if you're in your office this morning, do something that's outside the next time, or
Okay.
maybe in your kitchen or maybe in your living area, or just a different wall even if you want to do 5 shots, 5 videos, or 5 pictures in your office, find different things in the background, different pictures. Okay, I don't know if you heard me or not about the video. Did you?
I did. I heard that. Change
Okay.
the background. I got that part of it. Yeah, I just always am afraid that I'm not.
You know, I talked to a lady, I met her on one platform about a year ago, and we talked back then, and then she just kind of ghosted me. Like she never responded to any of my activity, speaking, doing anything. Okay. And then all of a sudden, I met her on Alignable and another thing this last week, and me and her did another conversation. Her business has grown tremendously, but you know what she told me? I've been keeping up with you on Facebook and LinkedIn. I see what you're doing and how you're doing. And she never commented. She never said a word. She never gave a thumbs up, a heart, love you, nothing. Drives me insane when people do that, but it's just people. They just scroll and they keep scrolling.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't have time for me. And I keep telling people I'm important. Stop. You may learn something. You know, at least tell me my hair looks nice or my hair don't look nice, or, you know, why do you wear so many pink tops? How many pink tops do you have? I don't care what they ask me. Ask me something. And that's what we have to get used to doing as well. Tamara, when is the last time that you've commented on Grace's post or my post or Jennifer's post?
I think your post I comment almost all the time. Grace's I'm not so good at. Jen's I'm pretty good at when I see Jen, but Grace to me is kind of quiet. So I don't.
So that tells you, Grace, that she's not seeing as much of you. So that means you need to put more stuff out, either
I don't see Grace's
or
things
video
either,
or
Grace. So
something.
if you're putting things out, I don't see it.
Yeah, because you can tell like Jen is I'm usually pretty good at seeing Jen, like she'll say something about Dr. Pat, she'll say something about Jasmine, or the same with about LaDonna. LaDonna does the same, but Grace, I don't see a lot of posts about Grace. And that's not a dig on you, Grace. Please don't take it as one. I'm not trying
No,
to
this is
dig
a
on you.
learning thing, because that
Yes.
tells me either Grace is not posting often enough, and or Grace, you're not commenting on other people's posts enough. Either or both, or that's my guess, because that's what Facebook and LinkedIn tells you if you go to any of the trainings. If your posts are not being seen, it's either you're posting and running. That means, you know, you're going into let's say our membership group, and you're posting, but you're not commenting on anyone's, you're not giving anyone a heart, or you're not posting. You know, you got to do both. And that is a way to define yourself. Okay, what do I need to do more of or better? And we're all need to do more of and better of something. Jen is not perfect. I am not perfect. Tamara's not perfect. Grace is not. Dr. Pat is not perfect. Okay. She, you know, we all have things we need to improve in. Tamara, I do like what I just read. Jen's comment in the chat is that go watch the videos and give yourself constructive criticism. I want to tell you, Tamara, it's all about you keep doing. I agree with Jen, number one. And I've said that. Go back and look at your videos and give criticism, but not just yours. Go listen to Jen's. Pick up what you love about Jen and what you hate about her conversation. And I'm sorry, Jen, that's not a dig. It's going to be something. Because when I put my platform together, I went to lots of platforms. I said, I love this. I hate that. I have no idea why he or she did this. What the heck were they thinking when they said this or done that? What is the reason for this? And then I went to start doing my homework. Because it's about you at this point, and also having those topics, and that's hard. What's going to resonate with people? But the most thing is, I'm going to tell you right now, Tamara, use your granddaughter. Use her. Grace, use your grandchildren. Jen, use your grandchildren. And they're new. I mean, they're not new, but they're newer to you because now you're getting to spend quality time. My team and I've been saying, I'm paying you for all of these things, and I'm paying for all of these other things, and more money some months are going out than coming in. And why am I in business if I'm doing that? So we have put up where we are tracking now what platform is working. Is it LinkedIn? Is it YouTube? Is it this? Is it that? What kind of posts are people, are we getting the most impressions on or the most loves on? I'm going to tell you, for the last 4 weeks running, 4 weeks now, LinkedIn, number one. LinkedIn, number one. Likes, thumbs up, loves, impressions. Now, LinkedIn impressions are the most important, but we're tracking all of them. LinkedIn. Number two, LinkedIn is more serious, people. Facebook is more of, oh, what is Jen picking her nose today? Or is she clipping her toenails? Or, how's her hair look? They're not as serious, they say. Okay. I will say when someone, I have a new connection through LinkedIn, and she already bought a speaking spot. She's already sold some tickets for August 10th. I didn't even try to sell her on it. I just offered what I had, because I don't do that on connection calls. I just say, how can I help you? And this is how you can help me. Didn't sell her anything, because she's like, I want to speak. And she paid that day, and she's on the banner, and she was ready before we even talked. She was ready. She had already went to my website. She had already seen what I do, what I was about. She was ready. Okay. So they're more serious, it seems like. But let me tell you the number one post each single week. The first week was the 16-year-old getting his driver's license. I put a post up there with him, and it said something like, don't you wish it was as easy to drive your business as it was going in and getting your driver's license? Okay, because we can't drive our business as easy as it is going in and taking a test and going in and getting your license, right? It ranked number one that week. The highest one I had over the whole period was my 5-year-old grandson had a drill in his hand. You couldn't see Pawpaw. He was laying on the floor, guiding his little hand in with the screw to screw in Aunt Misty's putting her bar stool back together. And he's kind of upside down like this because he's kind of looking under the bar stool. And I said, do you ever feel like that your business is upside down? And then I went farther with it. It has knocked everything out of the ballpark for me, that one post. And it is still gaining traction every week. So be unique. And Tamara, I'm saying that utilize your granddaughter. If she's doing a flip and she falls on her face, say, oh, that reminds me, does your business ever feel like you're falling on your face? Utilize those. I want my 18-year-old grandson to let me go to the gym with him as he's working out. He works out every day, 7 days a week. His arms are huge now. And I said, just let me go to the gym and take a couple of snapshots or a video of you. Imagine how much traction that would get from different kind of followers, healthy followers, because he's healthy, he's on a regimen, blah, blah, blah. Another one, a flower out in my flower bed. I snapped a shot of a flower, lots of attraction. The dogs, lots of attraction. That background alone, Grace, would get you a lot of attraction, because that's not things that we see every day. Go find something vintage and talk about it. And I'm telling you this for everyone, because how are you going to stop the scrolling is number one. It's not, how am I going to get them to watch my video? First of all, you have to get the scrollers to stop scrolling. Dr. Pat has done, I don't know how many videos of her eating crab legs. Have y'all seen those of Dr. Pat? It gets me every time. Who in the heck goes to a restaurant with gloves on and a bib on and eat crabs and crab legs? What do you think the first thing it is? We quit scrolling. What is she doing? What is this lady thinking? She stopped the scroll. That's what you have to think about. What am I going to do to stop the scroll? And maybe putting your face right up to the camera and then bringing it back. Be quirky. You have to stop the scroll. I hope I helped you, Tamara, because I've seen a lot of your videos and a lot of it's the same background. Change up that background, put your granddaughter and you in there together.
You did help me. You did.
I bet you if you go back to some of those that you and your granddaughters together, you probably got more attraction on those than you by yourself or just her. But of course, you have to do some by yourself as well. You have to catch it first. You got to catch that follower. So I hope that really helped. But how can we, I want you to define it further. How can we help you in your business that you're doing right now? I didn't hear you say that.
Really, honestly, I just need help getting out there. I don't know how else to get out there. I need help finding clients.
Okay.
I don't know how to get any more clients. I don't. I'm trying. No, wait. I can't say I'm trying. That's a wrong word.
Yeah, I think those were great examples that LaDonna gave of doing things. And as far, especially posting on LinkedIn, because I thought LinkedIn, I know LinkedIn is about more serious people, but I didn't think you could post stuff about your grandchildren or this or that or something else. And as far as I go, I'm going to be 70 in August. I don't have any grandchildren. And I would be shocked and surprised if I have grandchildren by the time I'm 80. However,
go borrow stuff. Go borrow the neighbors. Grace.
Yeah. My next door neighbor has a 5-year-old boy. He's the cutest little thing you ever saw.
Go get some pictures of him.
Yeah. And the other day he asked me to play with him, and he had his Lego, and we're playing, different things with that, the Lego with wheels on and all this kind of stuff. It was really good. But anyways, I like your idea about the vintage stuff, because I've got lots of vintage stuff. I was thinking of making a stew for tonight, and I could put it in one of my vintage pots and make a post about that. I'm just going to make a vegetable stew and throw some chicken in it, like cooked chicken in it. So that's how I was thinking of doing. Anyways, my thing is, as is the coffee. And I just posted this here. about the coffee there. And I like this one because, not that I mean, if you want to come to the Zoom, that's great. You'll learn a lot more. However, I like this photo because on the left-hand side, it mentions 13 different things that the coffee does because of the reishi mushroom that's in it. And a lot of people don't know about the antioxidant properties and the immunology and the antibacterial. It's good for your brain, it's good for your liver, it's antiviral. And we've been talking about viruses for the past 4 years. And then it's hyperglycemic and may heal your gastric problems and even problems with cancer. Like everyone is like, oh, I've got cancer, I'm gonna die. Well, no, you don't have to. If you've caught it soon enough, you can use our spores and it will fight it. And and it has helped lots of people to do this. It can lower your blood.
Grace, let me because we're running out of time, let me give you some ideas on this. I'm gonna, number one, I wished I would have had this sooner, but I have a newsletter going out today and I'm gonna have them see if we can add it real quick to get it out there, because even if they don't get there tonight, they still have the left side that I do love. But what I would do is, when you do your pot and your stew, you have to make sure somehow you can relate that to your business. What would really be cute, and I don't know if you have it, is, but I do know you have one of them, is a vintage teacup or vintage coffee cup. Put your coffee in there and talk about how coffee has changed over the years. 20 years ago, Dr. Bob didn't make this great coffee that could help with the spores and things like that. See what
Yeah.
or an old coffee pot. But with your stew, you could talk about eating better and putting your and then converting it into your coffee or your fragrances that you do put in foods.
Yeah, the Young Living. Well, what I could do is make up a pot of tea and I could use the tea as a base for my stew instead of water, instead of just plain water.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But great. This
yeah.
ad right here just sets you up for 13 different videos.
Yes.
I would go one by one and do a video, and I would have it, I don't want to pull it up because I don't want to mess anything up and lose you, but if there's an antioxidant, then I would go to like the local grocery store and do your video there in front of like the fruits and berries. Like be creative, but those are 13 different videos right there.
Make them under a minute. Make them under a minute long, because people are watching shorter videos now, a minute or shorter than they are the longer videos, which Facebook.
Then you can put it on the reel.
Yes. And then it'll go on the reel. As soon as you upload it to YouTube, it'll put it on the reel.
What reel?
YouTube does it for you, because do you have a YouTube channel?
I do.
Yes, when you go in and put your video on YouTube, it'll put it under the reel section instead of the video section, as long as it's under a minute. And
okay.
Or YouTube, because people want to watch shorter stuff. People are busy. So they're not always watching those 1 hour videos like they used to, or 20-minute videos, or that's why I slice everything up now, is because I'll take this segment and slice it up into several 1-minute videos. So yes.
Yes. And also I can put it on TikTok.
Yes.
And TikTok puts it to Instagram and then Facebook. And so then I could have it on YouTube as well, like separately on YouTube. And then I guess separately on LinkedIn as well, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Do not leave LinkedIn out. And I don't know if you girls use Alignable. I know Tamara does. I'm having some really great connections on Alignable. really great connections. So far, it has been wonderful. So
Yes, Alignable wants me to upgrade. So
I have
I'm
not upgraded mine yet.
no.
I don't do it until I absolutely have to. I'm sorry. I'm a shrewd with my money. I'm like Jen. I'd rather go spend it on a toy for the baby or, rent the cabin out at the lake for the family for Papa's 60th birthday. I just called and rented a big old cabin out there by the lake for the whole family for his 60th birthday. I'd rather spend my money that way. And $20. Have you ever took your budget on the month and see how much money you're spending every month for your business? You would be
Stupid.
shocked. $20 here, $9.99 here, $1.99 here, $80 here, $40 here. And then I start, do I need that? Why did Canva charge me $79 one month? Well, come to find out, all my team members got in and logged in on my Canva under their own name. So it wasn't $23 anymore. They got a spanking. They won't be doing that anymore. Tamara is having a very serious conversation right now. She just said no to that granddaughter. Look at her. She is not happy. All right. So I'm going to put a screenshot in the chat right now. Let's see. And I hope that you guys will go in and put it everywhere on your social media and really put on there and think about that affiliate program. Imagine if you could have an extra $50 a month on just sending people to sign up as a member. And once and you're not even asking them to pay for anything. You're just asking them to come in free and try it out. They'll decide if they want to pay. That's what I like about our membership, is that you don't have to do all that. All right, here it comes. So take that screenshot and share it all over. Have you guys been able to get into the membership group, or is it closed? Do you know, on Facebook?
Oh, that's terrible.
Jen, have you been to post? I know that you post every once in a while over there.
I didn't get on yesterday. Well, I think so, because I posted like the day before.
Okay, I was hoping it's not closed down. But then I've got to figure out how I can be an admin, but I'll get all that figured out today. So when you start getting these,
Yeah, you can post on there.
yes, please make sure that you're accepting me as a friend, because I'm going to reopen my Facebook. But I have to start from scratch.
LaDonna, I think you took that screenshot before you said I'm going to take a screenshot, because
Oh.
I mean, I don't think any of us are posed well. There's only 4 of us, if you go like 3, 2, 1 or something like that.
LaDonna does that to me every time. If I have the worst face, that's the face she's going to capture every time.
All right, Tamara, can you give us 1 minute, please? Oh, she's mad. Look at her. Tamara is mad.
Oh, hell.
That granddaughter is.
She should just shut down. Tamara, it's time to go.
She's going to give herself a heart attack. Well, I was hoping to get her for 1 minute and I would redo the screenshot, but I think that's that, Grace. So,
Grace, your face is way better than some of mine have been. So,
all right. Love you, ladies. Go post all over social media, and I will talk to you later.
Thank you.
Go for a walk, Tamara. Go for a walk. Breathe in.
You need to take some Xanax, girl.
Have a drink. No, don't have a tea. A tea drink. Bye.